Hello, Jerrel here. I'm going to add damage counters to my monster raising game Goobuddies. Right now we are in my workspace. That is where I develop the ranch portion of the game. I'm going to open the development scene for the battle system here, and I will add in some components that will allow me to indicate the amount of damage that is being dealt. So I'll open this up. Now I will be using a component that I developed a few years ago, and it's important when you are developing long-term to plan ahead and to consider creating reusable components that you can use from project to project. There are certain things that don't make sense for you to have to program over and over again. For example, the logic behind displaying damage. Programming that from scratch over and over again for every project does not make sense, and so I created a system that will allow me to reuse much of the programming. And planning like this allows you to create projects more efficiently. So I have my battle manager here. All of my combatants are able to access the battle manager through references. I have something called the faux number core, and I will explain the logic behind that name in just a moment. So first, I will see all of the components of my battle manager, and it's quite, there's a lot of things in there. I'm going to grab this prefab, which is something I used in a recent project, and I'm just going to reset that. And now I would like to reference this in my battle manager, so we will go ahead and boot up Visual Studio. Now the reason why this is called the faux number core is that it fakes being rendered on a canvas that appears on the screen. The reason why I am not rendering these numbers on an actual canvas using Unity's UI canvas system is that it has major implications for memory leakage and performance, and this has always been a problem with Unity, and it's only just gotten worse over the years as Unity has gotten heavier. I'm not entirely sure what the absolute newest version of Unity is, whether or not they fix it, but Unity does not have a habit of fixing things that have been broken for more than a decade. So I've adapted the way that I develop, and this is a faux number core, so it's pretending to be rendered on screen through a canvas, but it's not actually a canvas. It is actually has a number of sprites here, and the sprites basically are told to look directly at the camera. So if we rotate this, we will see basically how big they will appear on screen. I think those numbers are a bit small, so I will manually increase the scale on those. Now in my battle manager, I will reference the number core. So let's go public phone number core, and this is phone number core. Okay, and I will just remove these, and I will resize the components here. This is the transform, which is told to look directly at the camera. The numbers I can scale freely as needed. Something easily visible would be nice. That seems fine. I'll go ahead and just duplicate that a bunch of times. Now, you can use nested prefabs in newer versions of Unity. This is Unity 5. It does not have nested prefabs. It's a good feature, but the trade-off is that newer versions of Unity run extremely slowly, and they actually slow me down significantly during development. There's a lot of lagging and waiting and issues with newer versions of Unity, so I'm developing in Unity 5, and then I just port up to newer versions of Unity. It's worth the effort because Unity 5 is extremely fast. Just placeholders. Let's go to a battle. This one has 4 enemies in there, and we'll now boot that up, and we'll see what happens with the numbers. So now it's designed so only the enemies will take damage. Let's see if the phone number core activates properly and numbers appear. Oh, it appeared over there, but the camera has not switched fast enough, so we didn't get to see that. Oh, the numbers appeared there, but it looked like the numbers appeared a little too big. I see. So you see the numbers are not being pointed at the screen fully. So they have appeared, but they are not being pointed at the screen, and they look low resolution. So let's go ahead and fix that. We have is world space. We will go ahead and double check if rotation target is not equal to null, and we will have rotation target dot transform dot look at, and we will have our camera main, and that is asking for a transform dot transform. Okay, so now we need to reference that, and we'll just go ahead and double check this as well. And camera main is not equal to null. I'll be using this in future projects, so I want to make sure that I'm checking and future-proofing this so it works in many use cases. We'll go ahead and just remove these again just for now, and what I will do is I will run this just to make sure that it works properly. I will go ahead and assign that. Okay, we have loaded up a battle, and let's see if this functions properly. Okay, I wasn't able to see it because the angle of the camera didn't change. That works, but it's now flipped around. It's actually reversed. It's facing it's facing the other direction, which is something that I'll be able to fix pretty easily, but yeah, basically I'll have to just rotate that 180 degrees on the inside there. So that is kind of interesting. Maybe I can just do this and we can see it functioning, and I can fix that later on. Let's rotate that to 180 and we'll see it functioning properly, hopefully. Okay, and there we go. It worked properly. Now this system originally wasn't designed to be viewed from such a vastly different perspectives from far away to up close, which is why the numbers look huge when viewed from up close. And that's just debugging logic. It's always going to target just some enemy. Depending on the move that's being used, it may not even try to find a different enemy. So that is functioning logic. So now it's functional, and it's just a matter of refining so that everything looks and works more gracefully. Thanks very much for checking in and spending some time with me, and taking a look at my workspace here as I develop my games. I have a number of games that are in development, so I have a fair bit of work on my hands, and if you do want to support this project, I will link to the Kickstarter. I am running a Kickstarter for this because I would like to add more species, more features, and I want to be able to spend time making a free version that people can play in their web browser with absolutely no monetization. But that takes a bit of time and work on my part. So please feel free to check out some other videos on the channel here. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Be well.